In 2016, news broke that Karla Homolka, arguably Canada's most infamous and vilified female murderer, was living a quiet life under a new name in Chateauguay. The headline not only upturned the Montreal suburban school that her 3 children attended, but angered a country unable to forget Homolka's part in the violent deaths of high school students Kristen French and Leslie McAfee. As a mom herself, Vancouver author Robyn Harding empathized with the Chateauguay parents discovering that Homolka had integrated herself so stealthily into their neighborhood. While Harding's own kids were growing up, their elementary school became the center of her personal universe, too. When I heard that someone with that kind of past was free and blending in with the school community, I thought that is such a horrific idea, she says. I wanted to explore it through fiction. Robyn Harding, author of the novel Her Pretty Face, Handout. Robyn Harding, author of the novel Her Pretty Face, Handout. Harding's new novel, Her Pretty Face, unfolds through multiple narratives and flashbacks. There's Frances, a fierce mama who enrolls her son, Marcus, in a private school after he is diagnosed with ADHD and oppositional defiance disorder. Her hopes for a fresh start are quashed after a disturbing schoolyard incident involving Marcus, and both mother and son find themselves ostracized by the school community, in particular, by the yummy mommies whom Frances daydreams of harming in creative ways. Frances's isolation is relieved when she meets new-to-town Kate, who is wealthy, model beautiful and equally disdainful of the school's elitism. The two bond quickly, as do their sons. A parallel storyline involves Kate's daughter, Daisy. By grade 9, Daisy is already a cynical old soul who treats high school life like a game, knowing it's just a matter of time before her family moves again. Daisy and Frances's stories are interspersed with flashbacks from a character named DJ, who recounts the horrific murder of his older sister, and the subsequent high-profile criminal trials of her killers, Shane Nelson and Amber Kunnick. It's unclear initially how these storylines will intersect, but the hints begin to stack up until they reach Her Pretty Face's bomb drop of an ending. No spoilers here, but both Kate and Frances are hiding dark secrets. And one of these women is Amber Kunnick in hiding. Harding is clear that Her Pretty Face is a work of fiction that probes the complexities of women's friendships, and not a retelling of a violent story. I don't want to upset anyone with the Homolka material. It's not about her crimes, it's more inspired by her blending into the school population, says Harding. To her dismay while researching, she discovered that cases of murdering couples were more common than she thought. Harding amalgamated details into the story from other crimes, like those perpetrated by David and Catherine Burney, who in 1986, murdered 4 women in Perth, Australia. Article continued below. Harding's background doesn't foreshadow her new calling as a domestic thriller writer. She got her start in light-hearted women's fiction, and also wrote a young adult novel and a memoir about reducing her family's carbon footprint. In the late aughts, the chick-lit publishing market began to dry up, but Harding's love of comedic writing did not, and so she turned to film and television. She jokes that out of the 400,000 screenplays she wrote during that period, only one of them made it through. In 2015, Harding's feature film, The Steps, starring James Brolin, Jason Ritter and Christine Lahti, premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. Writing screenplays taught me a lot about what I love about writing novels, the autonomy and the ownership and the relationship with an editor, Harding says. Her shift toward darker material started in 2012 while living in Australia, helping take care of her sick mother-in-law. I don't know if it was being in that environment where things were sad, but I came up with this dramatic idea, she says. Harding wrote about 70 pages of The Party, her 2017 best-selling novel about a Sweet 16 sleepover turned tragedy, then put the unfinished manuscript aside. She was still stuck on comedy, but every time she'd pull up this dramatic story, Harding realized that she had a gem. She pushed through the writing and landed a publishing deal with Simon. Harding recently turned down an opportunity to write the screenplay for the television adaptation of The Party, which just cast an undisclosed high-profile actress in the lead. The manuscript for her next title is due in August, and she is committed to her book-a-year schedule, which leaves little time for film or comedy. Besides, Harding says, "I have no shortage of ideas for the domestic thriller genre." Sue Carter is the editor of Quill and Quire.